Hello, my name is Dave Povolny, and I'm running for mayor of the great city of Columbus. I struggled with my introduction, uh, didn't know what to put first. I'm a father, husband, electrical engineer, business owner, former mayor, but primarily, I'm a seeker of the truth and the information and knowledge. I have a vision for the city of Columbus. Uh, 16 years ago, when I became mayor, I started a visioning session. The visioning session took input from the community. Understanding that we live in a technically a federal constitutional representative democracy is super important because our city determines what happens in your own backyard. And that is super important to me. Um, we don't determine the abortion, the war in Afghanistan, the war in Ukraine. We're talking about your backyard. And I'm a guy who is a fundamental preserve your rights as a citizen to perform the business in your backyard as you choose necessary. So as long as you don't interfere with your neighbors, the government shouldn't interfere with you. So with that said, I guess there's my introduction. Um, we need to lower taxes. We need to lower taxes by doing three things. One is continuing our commercial development to generate more revenue. Secondly, to lower spending. That's the second side of that. But thirdly, our tax assessor that used to assess our properties so that we all pay our representative proportions of what we owe of the city's budget, it needs to be readjusted. And our tax assessor, Ken Toltzman, retired. He wasn't replaced. And so all our tax assessment went back to the county. I don't feel the county has done a fair assessment of Columbus like Ken used to do. So I'd like to get our tax assessor back. Our building inspector he retired, he moved on. The current council didn't replace him. And so now we're using a third party. We have a government entity telling us who we have to buy our inspections from, a company called Minspec. So I want to get our inspector back. Our inspector, we live in a small city. Our inspector used to plow the roads. I mean, we had a guy that had multiple purposes. We have many hats to wear in this small little city. I have a small business. I wear lots of hats. So we need to be more agile in having multiple roles in our positions in our city government. Our city has lost lots of people over the last years since I've been mayor. I'd like to investigate that to see why the culture has been contaminated and why we can't retain people. I'm sure it's not just about pay. It's got to be the total environment that the people live in and work in. So I'd like to do a little work on that. Um, we also lost our community service officer, our CSO. And the CSO did a lot of great things in Columbus, part of the police force from Anoka. And we got rid of that guy, and replaced him with a compliance officer. I'd like to go back to the reactive community service officer, be out there in the community. I think it was a way better scenario. The city, before my time, 16 years ago, purchased a bunch of land. That land needs to be sold. It's in direct competition with private investors who are trying to sell their land. The land needs to be sold. When I was mayor, I put up big signs, let's sell this land, and some of it's sold, but it all needs to be sold. Um, so I'm for open governance. The current administration has lots and lots of workshop meetings that aren't recorded. No one attends. It seems like they just do all their backroom business and then boom, they come to the council, they vote on things, and not a lot of community involvement. When I'm mayor, I will eliminate those meetings and make it on the camera in front of people. Let's discuss this as five independent people. Uh, we also need to return the interim use permit structure that allowed small businesses to work out of their houses. The current council has totally eliminated the interim use permits. So no one has an option to go to the city and say, hey, I want to have a haircutting place, or I want to do people's taxes, or work on a car here or there. So we need to get a system back that allows for um, people to run a small business and not interfere with their neighbors. I mean, Microsoft started in a garage somewhere. Can you imagine if they weren't allowed to do that? We need to get that revisited and have a solution that will benefit all the stakeholders of Columbus. I'll always support the 5 acre minimum average, which keeps our city rural. We don't really have rules and regulations that would work in a real small, high dense environment. We like to shoot our guns. We like to, ride our bicycles and do all kinds of great things, have horses. So we need to keep that as well. In conclusion, I'm a unifier. I find the common ground in every situation and build from there and have a solution where sometimes nobody wins, but by not having a clear, concise winner, everyone truly wins because we get to the bottom of the problem and have a solution that doesn't really hinder or uh, create biases. So I will fight for your personal private property rights. Vote for Dave Povolny for mayor. Thank you very much.